It's Acoustic Alternatives, and I'm John Bommarito, finally getting caught up on listening to some of the albums that came out this year. Indigo Girls released an album in the spring, and I can't believe how long it took me to get to it. One of the standout cuts from the album is called Howl at the Moon, and lucky for me, there's an acoustic version of it for the show. Something this week from the back catalog of Jonathan Brooke, Inconsolable, first appeared on her album Plum. This week on Acoustic Alternatives, I tossed in this great performance from an album recorded live in New York. We heard three songs with names in the title in that set. The third one was from Chris DuPont, a co-write of sorts with Ulysses S. Grant. The song goes back a few years, but he does it at almost every show. I hope you enjoyed Dearest Julia from one of Michigan's best, who's just starting to put out songs from his album Floodplains, due out in January. Recently, Stephen Kellogg performed an online show where he did an entire album, The Bear, from start to finish. It reminded me of one of my favorites off this record, which he performed that day, A With Love, so I sought out this old performance with his band The Sixers to include on this week's show. And some great lyrics from Matt Nathanson in that set. The song Bill Murray is one of his personal favorites, or so he said. One of my favorite sections of the song is this one. Bill said something late one night in Spain, and it's always stuck with me. You only get one person knows you best. Something I believe. Moving on, here are two that feature Brad Phillips. Brad is the next guest on my podcast, which you can find more information about by visiting the Facebook page for Grove Studios. You'll also hear a rarity that he played on as a younger man later in the show. Here's the multi-instrumentalist from Michigan doing That Lucky Old Son, Brad Phillips on Acoustic Alternatives.